First, missions. 456 gets started. Vital, purposeful living resumed for the air and ground echelons February 1st, 1944, when a rumble was heard from the skies, and the group's own planes circled the field and made their first landing in Italy. The next day, the ground men swarmed out to the line for the first time, going over the bombers and getting them ready for the first mission. The 456 Bombardment Group came of age February 10th. The night before the first mission, Colonel Steed stood before each squadron and told them that he was proud, infinitely proud, to be their commanding officer. He expressed confidence in the air and ground crews. As mechanics, armorers, radio men waved from the hard stands, the group planes took off the next morning to bomb German Army headquarters at Grottaferrata, Italy. The target was overcast, preventing bombing, but on February 17th, the 456 went back and flattened the target. Sergeant Louis E. Feuerstein became the first gunner to destroy an enemy aircraft on this mission. Ground crews patched the first flak holes and refilled the gaping bomb bays with another load of bombs. Engines were returned, and the 456 was ready to swing Sunday punches at Hitler's fortress Europe. Rain came down in torrents, keeping the planes grounded. Poor flying weather restricted missions to one more during February. A blast of Sibinic, Yugoslavia, on February 22nd. Short training flights to keep up that sharp flying fighting edge were flown when weather permitted. Throughout the month, ground crews and administrative personnel built shops and offices on the line and in the areas. Many men lived in pup tents, pitched between mud puddles. These gave way to larger tents when additional pyramidals arrived late in February. Mattress covers were filled with straw for mattresses, and a variety of stoves made from materials at hand were set up in the tents. The first chairs were made from bomb bin containers, and tent doors were improvised from packing boxes, bits of wire, and a few nails. Church services began February 19th when the chaplain conducted his first formal service overseas in a Nissen hut. However, it wasn't the first. Several of the troop ships had no chaplain, but services were held anyway. During the first month, Sunday services were held wherever men congregated. Throughout the remainder of February, the chaplain led Sunday services in the briefing room and in squadron mess halls. PX supplies arrived in February, boosting the morale of the men who hadn't bought personal supplies since getting off the boats. Candy and cigarettes were rationed. Red alerts continued, and bigger and better foxholes dotted the areas. During February, the first month overseas, 3 missions were flown. 1 enemy aircraft was destroyed. Mud and rain curtailed flying. PX supplies arrived. The first church service was held in a Nissen hut. Large tents replaced pup tents, and the 456 group looked forward to more combat. February missions. 10th of February, Grottaferrata, Italy. 17th February, Grottaferrata, Italy. 22nd February, Sibinic, Yugoslavia. No change, even over here. Some of the best Army gags picture the former civilian boss taking orders from his former employee, but one flying officer, upon his arrival overseas, found he was still getting paid by his former employer. Walking into a U.S. Army finance office to pick up his pay, the youthful bombardier, for the first time in 2 years, saw his civilian employer, now a clerk, PFC. The flight officer may outrank his ex-boss, but he still receives his pay from him. Planes approaching tougher targets get an introduction to flak. Klangsfurt, Ploesti, Blechhammer, Sofia, and Vienna toughest. March 1945.